I've wanted to do a series of videos on this topic for a little while now. It's going to be about my favorite thing that you can do to improve your drawing skills. And it is so simple. It is simply sketching, having a pencil and a piece of paper and a rubber or an eraser if you're American, and just sketching down your ideas or something that you want to work on. So the intention was that I was going to do a selection of videos that would be me sketching in real time so people can draw along, and so we can have a little community of people who are interested in sketching and improving their drawing skills. The reason I've done it in real time is because for me, to do a basic sketch, I need about 15 minutes to do my base sketch. 15 minutes probably for my base sketch. And normally when I've done that kind of 15 minutes, I get really distracted and it's addictive, and I literally just carry on sketching because I'm enjoying myself so much. So because I went overboard when I was doing this sketch, I have sped up the end, but I've kept it at about 15 minutes for those who are drawing along to have sort of a solid period of time to sketch. In my last video, I talked about the fear of messing up your art and kind of breaking past that art block. And one of the best ways I think you can get past art block is to just do a little study. If you want to build your confidence and you're not feeling particularly confident at this moment in time with your drawing, one of the best things you can do is to do a little sketch. And one of the better things you can do with that to make it even more of a focused and progressive study is to time yourself. And for me, I time myself at about 15-20 minutes. I think it's a really easy slot amount of time in the day to just sit away from your regular day-to-day schedule, sit down and have a little bit of a draw in your sketchbook. And also the wonderful thing about sketchbooks is they're so accessible and so portable. If you're going about your regular day, if you're going somewhere cool on a walk or something, or if you're going on holiday, you can take your sketchbook with you, and there'll always be kind of those 10 minutes where you can do some sketching, and it'll be a lot more fun. The inspiration for doing these kind of series of sketch videos came from a video by Bobby Chu, who is an artist who has done many great things, but mostly worked on a lot of movies doing art design and conceptual art. And he talked about when he was younger that he used to go to the subway and draw people. Then more people saw what he was doing and kind of joined in, and then it became like an actual sketchbook group thing. And I thought, oh, that's such a cool idea. I really like that. But I doubt very much that the farmer on the corner of the road is going to join me for a sketch session at the local cafe. So I was thinking if I did it online, that I might be able to find some more like-minded people who also just want to have a sketch and enjoy improving their drawing skills. There is zero pressure for you to be perfect or particularly fast when you're drawing in your sketchbook. Sketchbooks are so personal to each individual, and for you, you don't have to share your sketchbook with anyone at all. It can just be something for you, a bit more like a diary, where you just want to familiarize yourself with certain shapes. Perhaps you struggle with drawing hands or feet or people or portraits, and that is something that you can just take a little bit of time to work on. That is the thing about sketchbooks that is so wonderful, is that you're allowed to make mistakes. It's not something that is intended to be presented to the world as a finished piece. It's there for you to just experiment and figure out what it is that you like drawing and how you like drawing. For me, in this video, and for perhaps I think the next couple of ones, I really only want to focus on sketching the lines specifically, and maybe doing a little bit of rendering, but probably not that much. You can see here that I'm really only trying to focus on getting the basic shape and form. But if you want to render and you want to draw in values and tones, and maybe add some splash of color, go for it, because the sketchbook is completely unique. I actually filmed this about 3 times before I filmed this one that I was happy with. I did draw the previous 2 characters you can see on the screen, and I was really struggling to talk and do the talking and juggle that with drawing at the same time. I need to be quite relaxed when I'm drawing, and it is quite a relaxing exercise, but then to try and figure out what to say while I was doing it was completely messing with my ability to draw. So I just took that out of the equation, which is why I'm doing a voiceover, and it wasn't a real-time voiceover. I was just really struggling. And that's another thing about sketchbooks, because I feel like the humble sketchbook has been a little bit underappreciated recently, and all of my favorite artists recommend using a sketchbook to develop your skills. It is one of the simplest and best things for you, and it's also one of the most affordable things you can do. So many people are attached to their iPads, and I love doing some digital art. I think it's a lot of fun. But if you lose your sketchbook, it's going to hurt your wallet and your purse a lot less than if you were to lose your iPad. And also, I think a sketchbook is a little bit tougher on the people using it, in that there is only a finite amount of times that you can sketch something on a piece of paper before the paper just falls apart. And that's the point I was starting to come to with one of the characters. Prior to this video, when I was sketching it, I was rubbing it out and drawing it again and rubbing it out, and I was starting to damage the paper. So I think a sketchbook, perhaps, whereas an iPad you can delete and do it again and delete and do it again, the beauty of a sketchbook is it's just that little bit more delicate. So you have to be a little bit more brave about your choices, and build that confidence, so what you're applying, and you commit to what you're applying rather than drawing a mark and rubbing it out again. What you want to draw in your sketchbook is completely up to you. As I said before, if there's something that you're struggling with, you can take that and take the time to really have a look at it, what it is that you want to draw. If it's a portrait, you can pull up a load of images from Pinterest or from Google, or maybe have a family member in real life sit down and draw them, something like that. But you can really take the time to analyze what it is that you're struggling with, and not feel the pressure again of that being something that you have to share. For me, in this video, I really wanted to, I had a really bad itch to draw clothes. I don't know why. I don't normally have much of a fascination with clothes, but what I really enjoy about doing a sketchbook is when I take something a little bit random like that, and then I start to draw it, you kind of reveal all these little things that you hadn't really acknowledged before properly. So the great thing is you could pull up an elephant, for example, and draw that down, and you'll probably notice a lot of things that you don't necessarily consider when you just see an elephant. I did that with a chameleon, and not long ago I started drawing some chameleons, and it was so bizarre because I was there looking at the legs going, I had no idea a chameleon's legs sort of bent that way. That looks a little bit weird. And I love it when I draw something like that, and you have a different understanding of what it is that you're drawing, and it leaves an imprint in your memory that you can use for future reference. For future sketch suggestions, I think what I'm going to do is just post on Instagram. If anyone wants to make suggestions, then they can. And I think I'll probably use one of those in my future videos, and I'll post the reference picture that I use in the video, so if you're drawing along with me, you can draw the image that I have on the screen as well. You don't have to, you can draw whatever you want. But if you want to draw the same reference that I'm drawing, you can definitely do that. And I will be including that one in the future. And also, I'm going to post these, I think, every other Sunday. And in between that time, I'll post my regular videos, which are about paintings and all sorts. So you can catch all my regular videos in between then. And I'll do these sketch studies sort of every other Sunday. And I think that might be a cute little morning thing to do on a Sunday. I definitely use references, by the way, for my sketching. If you're sketching and you want to feel confident and you want to actually develop your skills, I don't understand why you wouldn't use a reference. It doesn't make sense to me that you would try and do that from your imagination, because unfortunately our imagination is not reliable as a basis unless you're particularly skilled and have been doing this for a very long time. Using your imagination as a reference for anatomy and form and things is perhaps a little bit unwise. It's great fun if you want to create something that's imaginary, but you can always draw back to an actual reference. For example, if you're doing mermaids, you can look at fish tails and things like that. If you're doing fairies, you can look at butterflies. You know, everything that you draw, you can use a real life reference to help influence that drawing. So I think for these studies, if you really want to find something beneficial from it, you should definitely take a real life image for now and just build that library in your head of things that you've drawn and develop that kind of muscle memory so you can use them again in the future when you want to draw something imaginary, because at least then it will have sort of a solid basis and a solid reference. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this video. I'm going to leave you now and just let the music play, and you can just enjoy the music and the drawing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you liked this video, don't forget you can subscribe and comment and put a like on this video. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. follow only golden, 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 golden things. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.